whether you're here for Star Rail or Genshin, tell me if what I'm about to say sounds at all familiar. In the beginning, there existed only them, the primordial beasts, be it either the titans or sovereigns. They encompass different aspects of reality, be it elemental like earth and water, or conceptual like war and time. Then one day, humanity came along. The details of their arrival are a bit shoddy and don't really matter, but 'twas after humanity arrived, things were going swimmingly. A utopian-esque era existed that can be described as a golden age or the years of Jubilee, but then something happened. A heretical darkness from beyond the very world itself arrived. Call it either the Black Tide or forbidden knowledge. It's corrupted the very essence of these primordial beasts, causing them to become evil. Vile, nasty creatures turn on the worlds they once called home, causing them to fall victim to endless war, be it either the Chrysos War or the Great War of Vengeance. Following this war, the reign of these so-called primordial beasts would be over, and their authority would be spread amongst the human realm, be it in the form of core flames or elemental authority. However, one thing would complete the worlds, which is a giant cosmic barrier shielding the world off from everything else. Call it either a barrier or a barrier. If none of this sounds familiar, whatever. The stories aren't, a tit-for-tat a match, but they are kind of like reverberations of one another. I mean, one might even go so far as to say they're echoes of one another, almost like a copy of one long-forgotten memory of the other. But why? Is this merely a case of creative redundancy, writers recycling grandiose yet vague antagonistic concepts like the Black Tide, forbidden knowledge, the abyss, or are they all connected? Does a connection actually exist between the worlds of Amphoreus and Teyvat? And in truth, all these terms, the Black Tide, the abyss, are all actually referring to the same wave of cosmic destruction. And now some might be interested to learn, Teyvat does canonically exist in the universe of Star Rail. It's one of the oldest worlds in existence, but Teyvat isn't the only thing that exists, as so too do the twin sisters Beelzebub and Baal. And when I say, they're all in the fucking universe, I'm not talking about that one centuries-long image of Otto looking at Dvalin. No, I'm speaking of a bit of lore in a bartender event we got much more recently. It goes a little something like this. Quote, "Years ago, the Strategic Investment Department of the Interastral Peace Corporation stumbled upon an ancient and long-forgotten planet named Teyvat. This planet's history predates even the birth of some eons. Archaeologists deciphered a captivating legend about this planet from the ancient texts left behind by Teyvat. According to the legend, there was a kingdom on Teyvat ruled by two princesses. The elder sister was a gentle and non-combative ruler, while the younger sister was a brave warrior. When war broke out, in order to protect her younger sister, the elder sister secretly joined the battle, but tragically lost her life. In her final moment, she sealed her consciousness beneath an ancient sakura blossom tree, hoping to reunite with her sister someday. Years later, a traveler from a distant land, guided by the elder sister's consciousness, helped the younger sister find the tree. There, the elder sister's consciousness imparted her final teachings and blessings upon her sister, allowing her to grow into a true leader who could guide the kingdom toward peace and prosperity. The story of these sisters became widely sung by future generations. To commemorate this legendary tale, the IPC decided to create a beverage named Baal Royale, after the elder sister's maiden name, Baal, symbolizing courage, sacrifice, and lost love. Now, this story is pretty much Raiden's second story quest, talking about how Makoto, the passive one, went to Conria behind A, the warrior's back, and died, and then placed her consciousness in A's sword, which became active at the Sacred Blossom Tree. But that aside, the first paragraph of this is the most interesting, as it confirms to us that Teyvat, which is just Teyvat written backwards, is a long-forgotten planet born before even some of the Aeons, meaning the current story in Star Rail takes place thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years after the story of Genshin Impact, and everyone on Teyvat, including the world itself, has long since died and was forgotten about until the IPC stumbled upon it, unless they weren't the first ones to stumble upon it. What do I mean? My friends, let me introduce you to the most mysterious Aeon to ever exist, Fuli the Remberance. Now, based on their title, you may already know where we're going with this, and you're exactly right for thinking it's, quote, intellection equals existence, thus memory is the evidence of existence. The Aeon that presides over the path of remembrance records all that has been forgotten and prepares for the rebirth of the universe. Now I wonder if we were just talking about a long-forgotten planet of particular utmost import. Oh yes, we were Teyvat. Now before I go on, if there's any concerns regarding timeline, given Teyvat, as stated earlier, is one of the oldest planets to exist, older than some eons, it's here part of the mystery lies with Fuli the Remberance. No one, not the Genius Society, nor the IPC knows when Fuli came into existence. Quote, there are plenty of mysterious Aeons in the universe, and Fuli is particularly enigmatic. Nobody in the entire Genius Society and the IPC and the Intelligentsia Guilds knows when they were even born. The Aeon of Remembrance had quietly appeared in the annals of the universe as if they were meant to be here, as if they had altered everyone's memory. So, it's entirely possible Fuli was around and active when Teyvat was, and given their habit of preserving forgotten worlds, they very well could have made an effort to preserve Teyvat's memories. The abyss from beyond would become the black tide of Amphoreus. The sky barrier would become the sky barrier. The sovereigns become titans. The Great War of Vengeance, the Chrysos War, but why? And how? And, well, did the nigga actually do it, huh? I guess that's the main question, huh? In truth, we don't know. We are far too early in Amphoreus' life cycle to say. However, we do know the Remembrance is one of the paths affecting Amphoreus. We do know Fuli has just glanced at the Trailblazer on Amphoreus, and we do know Orynyx, the Time Titan, has long been trying to get Fuli's gaze. If the entire world of Amphoreus is a fractured memory of Teyvat created by Fuli, I suppose this could help explain Amphoreus' sky barrier? Kinda? Look, if the entire thing is an experiment or whatever by Fuli, throwing up a barrier to hide it from the rest of the world could explain, well, throwing up the fucking barrier. However, the world's being a memory could also help to explain why the people of Amphoreus speak the same language as the rest of the universe they've never interacted with, have similar devices, are the same species, etc., etc. The biggest question, however, if Amphoreus is a memory of Teyvat, where are the people of Teyvat? Unless Fuli provided only the rough outline and didn't one-for-one match the two, why has Amphoreus developed an entirely different culture, way of life than that of Teyvat? Unless, again, this is a really rough echo. But maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe the echo isn't super rough, but maybe there's one character from Teyvat that made it to Amphoreus. Maybe he's the only character transferred over, because he's the only character that matters. You see, on Teyvat, there exists a being so flawless, so ineffable, so perfect, it can only be described as the Primordial One, a progenitor god from beyond the stars! Oh my god, I turned my monitor into fucking water country. There's fucking waterfalls. Good lord, good gravy. And on Amphoreus, there exists another. You see, on Teyvat, his name may be Phanes, but on Amphoreus, is his name Phanon.